years, the St. Croix River has been a transportation corridor, as thousands of settlers came north by steamboat to Stillwater. It has also been a workhorse, with lumbermen floating timber downstream from the northern woods to the sawmills of this city. It was a source of relaxation, where leisure hours were spent swimming, boating, and fishing. But it was also a barrier that you had to cross. The first river crossing was a toll bridge that opened in 1876, with a pontoon section that could be opened to allow boats and log rafts to pass through. The bridge, though popular, was in constant need of repair. In 1897, after one section collapsed under the weight of 50 cattle, the local newspaper said that the incident had raised considerable talk among the businessmen in Stillwater about building a replacement. One city council member remarked, "The old bridge had already caused the city more outlay than would have been necessary to put up a handsome steel one." Then, in September 1904, tragedy struck, when a section of the bridge caught fire. As firemen raced down the bridge to extinguish the flames, it collapsed, sending them into the water. Before it was over, 3 men were dead and 9 seriously injured. Again, calls went out for a new bridge, and, a little embarrassed, Stillwater dropped the tolls in 1912. The bridge, owned and maintained by the city, was taken over by the Minnesota Department of Highways in 1925. By that time, the structure was fast deteriorating, and the span was closed to heavy traffic in 1928. Soon, plans were announced for a new bridge. At the time, most movable bridges were of the swing span variety, pivoting on an axis to allow water traffic to move back and forth. Instead, Stillwater would have a counterweighted cable and tower design. In other words, a lift bridge. Only 6 vertical lift highway bridges were built in Minnesota and Wisconsin prior to World War II, and Stillwater's is one of only 3 that still survives. On July 1, 1931, 15,000 people lined the shores when the bridge was dedicated. 7 local bands led a procession to the riverfront, where Minnesota Governor Floyd Olson cut the tape, opening the span. Every whistle in the city started blowing, and the crowds cheered. The Stillwater Band remained on the lift as it rose, while the North Star, the private yacht of the Mayo brothers, steamed through the opening, carrying the St. Paul Police Band, as both ensembles joined in a chorus of "Hail, hail, the gang's all here." At the time of the bridge's completion, the St. Croix River was only lightly used as a navigable waterway, as the Minnesota Department of Highways noted in a 1938 letter stating, "For several years, not a single request for its opening was received." But after World War II, recreational river use grew, as did highway traffic between Wisconsin and Minnesota. With a new bridge under construction to the south of Stillwater, the old lift bridge will be saved as a pedestrian and bike trail. When the bridge opened in 1931, General Ralph Immel, speaking as the official representative of the state of Wisconsin, called the lift bridge, "this beautiful structure, high above America's most beautiful river." Long a symbol for downtown Stillwater, the lift bridge, this beautiful structure, is now listed in the National Register of Historic Places and will be preserved for future generations to enjoy.